Hey crafters, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our Lily Flourish card. I have all my pieces here cut out in front of me, and this is the card base. Now I opted to go with the solid score line, which you can barely see, but what I like to do, and I saw a question about this in our group the other day, and even though we have the score line, I still like to go old school like we did in art class, where you kind of align the two corners. And I slowly start to kind of crease it towards that score line, just at least on one side. Okay, and then while I'm still holding it, take the other side, line it up, and then hold it. And then just very gently, if you have a bone folder, use that. Start creasing it. And that's how you get a nice, even card base. Okay, so that looks great. That's ready to go, and all we're doing is just layering a few pieces. The machine's doing all the work for us today. We're going to start off with the red layer, and the cool thing is you can make this whatever color you want. And I'm going to focus on the larger areas. There are some little fine details here, and if you feel comfortable applying your glue to all these little details, feel free. But I know that I'm dealing with glitter on glitter. So I have a really strange, non-porous material here. And then I also have a smooth surface on the other side. So I know that these two are going to take a little extra time to kind of bind. And brayer definitely helps in this situation. Just kind of push that glue around. And then what I would do is grab a scrap piece of paper, and you can literally see visually which little sections need a little extra love. Grab a scrap piece of paper and just kind of tuck it under the little areas there that need a little extra love, and then just push them down. Okay, so very simple, and you know, since the machine did all of, oh my God. So the machine did most of the work, so we may as well just spend a few extra moments just making sure that everything is nice and set. Okay, next we're going to grab this pink layer. And same thing applies here. Again, I'm going to need to be extra patient. When we prototyped this set of cards, we did it with cardstock, and they look just as great with cardstock. We wanted to just add a little extra bling to them with some glitter, but if you don't have the glitter, they're going to look great with cardstock. And you know, you may even prefer it with cardstock. It just gives it I think, a kind of a classier look. And I just realized that, oh no, that's just glue. I thought I had a piece that I didn't punch out. Okay, just gonna lay that right on top of the previous layer. Okay, so this layer is literally just exposing that little bit of red. Okay, and you're asking, well, why didn't you just cut out just the little red parts? Well, because then you'd have to piece tiny little pieces, and we're trying to avoid that as much as possible with this set. Plus it makes the card, gives it that elevation too, that depth that we're looking for. Yeah, and that's not working really well. It'll be okay. Just as long as most of it is sit and put, I can always grab my scraps and go around and just clean things up. If it wasn't for this glitter paper, this card would probably be done already on my end anyway. So if you're using cardstock, you're probably like, Leo, why are you taking so long? Well, it's just because it's glitter on glitter, and that's what I get. That's what I get for going with glitter on glitter, but it's okay, because they're gonna look great in the photos. I need to impress you guys. Haven't you figured that out by now? I'm just kidding. Yeah, really not though. Okay, that one looks good. You can kind of lift it up with the tip of your little scrap here just to see if in fact it needs that little extra. That one's fine. This one needs a little love. Just going to paint a little glue on that. This one definitely needs a little love. Just these little thin areas where I almost didn't want to just try to put glue on it because I know it's just going to go spilling out all over the place. Better safe than sorry. Okay, finally, not quite, here's our white layer. And you can see how all of a sudden everything just kind of comes together. Same thing with this. Focus on the larger surface areas. And we'll just go in and paint the little details so that we don't make a huge mess, because these are going to get, this layer is going to get awfully close to that pink layer in proximity, and we don't want glue popping out all over the place. They say it dries clear, but you know as well as I do that it will leave little blemishes that we'll be paying for, and I don't like that. Okay, so let's just line that up. And my eyes are scanning the card, top to bottom, left to right, top to bottom, left to right. Just keep on going all the way around and just get that as centered as you can. But just little bits of the color underneath, probably going to show through a tiny bit, but that's okay. It adds to the interest of the card. And this layer is even more difficult to put down than the previous because of how smooth it is. That's okay. All right. I'm just going to grab whatever I can to help me hold down these little areas. In the meantime, while I'm doing that, I've got a bunch of little sections that just need a little extra love. I'll just get my little scrap piece prepared here. Maybe thin that out a little bit. And I'm going to work from the center here first. Get that part glued down. Get these little stray stamens in place very carefully. Just give them a nice press. They're kind of free floating, so just be gentle. Okay. And then the little details on the flowers. If it helps you, so that you don't have to get your finger in there, grab yourself a little dowel and just use that to press. Okay, that will work too. I guess one thing that could work here is like a spray adhesive, but if you decide to use a spray adhesive, make sure that you get one that's repositionable, because if you goof up with a spray adhesive, there's, well, from my experience, if it's not a repositionable type, then you're going to be recutting things. Okay, just going around here and adding a little bit of glue. I probably could have added glue to some of these larger areas. I just obviously don't want to be efficient and I want to spend more time with you. But I'm just kidding. Okay. Pop that one down. So you get the idea here. I would just go around, make sure that everything is making good, solid contact. And I'll say it one more time. If you are not using glitter like I am, then you could probably go make dinner, because your card will already be done while I'm still here waiting for things to attach to this glitter. So one little method that I can share here with you is, while you should be able to do this, I'm doing it just fine. With your scrap piece in your dominant hand, just start painting in the little areas that need the extra glue. Just kind of swivel it back and forth, and just keep your dowel on the layer that you just painted while you paint the next layer. And you can kind of get it done a little bit quicker. That went really quick. Okay. And that's so pretty. Okay, so a couple steps left here. We have a nice little frame that we're going to put around this just to finish it off. Oh, well, you know what? I have one more little section. Actually, maybe two sections, and I'll show you again what I mean by using the dowel to hold one section in place while you paint the other one. Because by the time you paint that other section, let me lift this up a little bit more. By the time you paint that other section, the section you're holding down should be good to go. Just like that. Okay. And we do have, this is really the only little tiny piece that's not part of a larger piece that needs to be glued down. Okay, and you can see where that goes. So I'm gonna hold it from the bottom here, and I'm just gonna put glue on the stamens and on the base. I'm not really overly concerned about little thin parts, as long as everything else there we go. Beautiful. Okay, now let's grab the gold part of the frame and begin applying our glue to that. Nice and thin. Okay, and that's just going to go right around the entire perimeter. Should be flush with the top, bottom, and sides. Use your finger to kind of feel to make sure that it is in fact flush. If you need to kind of rotate it around, that's fine. This card almost has a Christmas vibe to it. I'm digging it. Okay, let's push that down. There we go. And then we'll finish it off with this white piece. Let me clean off this nozzle. It's getting kind of yucky. And this is just going to leave a slight reveal on that gold part. Okay. So I would start with the top. Again, making sure that it's nice and flush at the top. Give it a little nudge wherever it needs to go to be nice and centered. Okay, so now with this one here, I don't think we really need to use any foam squares on this because that backmost layer is already attached to the card. So we're just going to glue this down flat. Okay, now we tried to, on some of the cards, minimize the amount of paper that's required by actually using the card base as that back layer. So you're welcome for that. Now in this case, we don't even need foam squares for this one. This one's just going straight onto the card base. We got a little yucky there. Okay, now one other thing too, for the inside of the card, it comes with a blank base. If you bought the bundle, you have over 20 different print then cut captions that you can include inside. And you're just gonna take and apply glue to the back of that, pop that right inside, nice and centered, and the card itself is done. Okay, so one other thing I wanna mention is that create a little video to show you how to take these captions that are normally black and white. Now it's not really seeing it very well on camera here, but this is like a purple, pink, reddish gradient that you can use instead. Now this obviously would not be the color I would choose with this, but we have some free gradients for you that you can download from our site to turn these into something that's a little more interesting. But let's take a look at our envelope. And just like the card base, I love using the solid score lines. Sometimes they just don't do a very good job. A little more laid back with the envelope, but just kind of grab it and slowly start to crease it. It'll find its way. Okay. Just like that. And if you find that, and that sometimes that happens, where this little corner here just doesn't line up right, and that's just a result of the scoring. Just have to kind of pull it in and score it again, and you can see how nice that looks. Okay, with this, because we have some cutout elements there, just keep your fingers away from them and spread that down with your bone folder or whatever it is. Now this is going to stick out a little bit like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply glue to this entire flap, just trying to avoid the little cutouts, and there's some fine little details there that we can always use a scrap piece to kind of paint into place. I'd rather do that than get glue all over the place. I have my texture side facing away from me. We're going to nudge this right into the little score mark there. Make sure it's nice and centered. Pardon my head here for a second. Give that a little nudge, and then just bring it down and press. Don't worry about the little flourishes just yet. We'll clean those up here in a second. We'll grab our scrap piece of paper here. Get some glue on there nice and thin. Tuck it under. Now I'm going cardstock on cardstock, which is almost like an instantaneous bond. I don't have to sit here and wait like I did with my glitter. It's nice. You just tuck it under and press down. I got one more here. Press that down. Have a little flourish here. Press that down. One more here. Press that down. Okay. And we have a little coordinating flower. It's going to pop in there just like a little puzzle. A few little dots on each of the petals. There's plenty. And then just match that up. Pop it right in. That center of that flower, get some bling for that, obviously. There's your opportunity to get some bling out. Okay, then we're going to take the side flaps, bring them in. Maybe just give that another score. And apply glue along the inside of that flap. Bring it up and press down. If you want to grab your brayer, make it do some work for you. And there we go. Okay. And there's your coordinating envelope. And you can see your card fits in there just fine. So that's going to do it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please visit us on our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. We are getting close to 64,000 subscribers, so thank you to each and every single one of you. And if you make this or anything from our newest set of cards, I'd love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook, do a search for Dreaming Tree Official. That's where you'll find myself and about 46,000 of our closest crafty friends. So again, hope you had a blast, and as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section, where you'll find over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly tutorials. I'll see you in the craft room.